Welcome back, hodlers. Today we're going to be talking about Bitbuy and their pro platform, their pro trade platform. We're going to be talking about exactly how you should be actually executing orders within Bitbuy, or really any exchange, but mainly Bitbuy. Now, Bitbuy did become the first Canadian registered crypto marketplace, and if you did want to sign up with them, go ahead and click on the link down in the description below. They're a great company to work with. They've been in crypto for a while, really fostering that innovation within Canada, which is amazing. It's good for me to see as well, because obviously I'm Canadian and I really want the infrastructure here in my own country to grow. So we are going to be looking at the Bitbuy Pro chart. So let's take a look at the screen. Now, there's a couple of things that I want to talk about in terms of Bitbuy Pro. Now, of course, anyone can go through the express trade here and buy and trade whatever coins they want to trade with. But if they go to Pro Trade, they're given this different format, which is more of a pro level trading format. So if you're someone that maybe isn't used to exchanges, whether it be Binance or an equity exchange, this might look a little new to you, especially if you're not familiar with charts. Of course, if you're a subscriber to the channel, you most likely are. But that being said, I want to talk about what makes Bitbuy so impactful and one of the safest exchanges in Canada. First off, they're open and transparent for a lot of things that they work through, and a lot of what they do has the regulatory framework of everything in Canada at the forefront. So you know that they're regulatory compliant with what tokens they offer, how the exchange works. It's not like Binance where they're just leaving the province because they can't comply with our laws. So the first thing is the open and transparent order book. So you're probably used to an order book on any extensive pro platform exchange. This allows you to identify the different market data that's happening. And as well, down in the market trade history, you're also kind of getting what is happening in terms of the volume and how much is being traded by a minute by minute basis. So a lot of you, if you're just basic in terms of exchanges, you probably know what a market buy is. So if you market buy, typically what the exchange does is it marks it up that way that you can complete your trade instantly, right? However, what you should be doing is what is called the limit order. So if you click on limit up at the top left hand of the screen, right next to market, click on limit, it allows us to change our price. Now we can go ahead and buy, say, Bitcoin here, and we can say use the best price, which is 69,753 Canadian, of course. But if we look down here, we can see what the going price is, which is 69,714. Not far off from what we wanted. If we wanted to say an exact, let's hypothetically say that we wanted exactly 113. And the only reason I'm doing this is because I don't want this to go through just yet. So let's say we have that $1 less than where we're at right now. And now let's say I want to buy it with 100% of my money here. So I'm going to use that 492 Canadian to buy 0.007 Bitcoin. So I'll go ahead and select buy. And then my limit order is set and will be down here as open and won't complete until that order is fulfilled. So that order is represented in the order book and also in market depth, which we'll talk about in a moment. Now, if I wanted to cancel this, I could go ahead and cancel and clear out the order. So the order didn't go through, and there we go. We can see my Canadian dollars are back. Now, if I wanted to say set an order in, if I'm expecting the prices to go down overnight, for example, let's say I want to set an order in at 68,000 Canadian dollars. So I can go ahead and throw 68,000 and then go ahead and hit the 100% or whatever percentage I want to buy, and then go ahead and select buy. Now I'll select that in, and obviously this isn't going to fill unless that price hits $68,000. So this is a good tool to use, especially when you're expecting volatility to the upside or the downside and catching a good price for a token. You can use this for altcoins, whatever else it may be. Set your limit orders overnight and then just wait it out and see what happens. So if you see something is crashing down, you could potentially grab a good price on a token. Now, of course, things can go further. It's kind of the risk that you take with the falling knife. Now, if we wanted to close out an order and make sure we buy the order as cheap as possible. So let's go 69,000. We'll try to get this one through. And we'll go 115. We'll go $1 above the asking price just to make sure that it confirms. So it's not too far. You can do it exactly. If we did it exactly, we might just wait a few moments. But if we hit this, we can go ahead and select buy. And then in a short time, we will see this order will fill. So we'll just wait here a moment and wait for that to fill. And there we are. The order has disappeared from my orders. If we go to filled, we can see here that that order was filled, Bitcoin and Canadian dollars right there. And we see the exact fee, the trading volume. And again, they're completely transparent about things like their trading fees. So right here, you can clearly see exactly how much they're taking per trade. The spread is very, very nominal and low compared to other exchanges. I've seen exchanges, especially in Canada, that will completely take the shirt right off of you in terms of the spread that they charge, which is absolutely ridiculous. So the things that I like about Bitbuy is obviously there's all the costs that you're getting are completely upfront shown to you, and they're marginally low compared to the rest of the industry in Canada. So obviously limit orders can be a useful tool when you're expecting prices to go higher or lower. Now, I talk a lot about dollar cost averaging and selling tokens. So say I wanted to sell Bitcoin and I wanted to set a limit order of Bitcoin, but I'm expecting Bitcoin to maybe go up to 70,000 Canadian dollars, and I want to sell, say 25% at $70,000. I can go ahead and set a limit order there. Let's say I expect it to go to 7,500 and select another 25% and then set another order. Obviously, it's going to be a lower amount, but what I mean by dynamically dollar cost averaging is you can set these limit orders and set them to sell if you'd like at certain levels of the price target, and just put a percentage of your holdings that you're trying to sell. So I can go ahead and select this, and then you can see that I have two limit orders now set at $70,000 and then $70,500 respectfully. So you can continue this as many times as you have money to kind of set limit orders either in the buy or the sell, depending on what you're trying to do, whether or not you're trying to sell to Canadian dollars and stack up a profit pot, or whether or not you're trying to build a position in a token and you want to set limit orders at lower prices that you think you can get the token at. So it's a very powerful tool when you do start using limit orders rather than just market orders. I promise you're going to save a lot of money just in that. Even if a market order is only costing you $1 to $2, that's still $1 to $2, right? That's still an amount of money that you don't want to lose. So we'll go ahead and cancel these. Now, the market depth is interesting. So it might confuse you at first, but it's pretty easy to understand. Essentially what happens is the green represents the bids, how many people are buying Bitcoin and at what price. These are the orders that are in, so it's not the orders that have completed. And then you can see the difference between the buy orders and the sell orders. So how many we have on ask, and these are the people selling Bitcoin, for example. So you can see when one chart goes above the other, we can obviously tell which one's stronger at that present moment. Now this chart is constantly in flux. It could be way exaggerated to one side depending on market conditions, but it basically shows exactly what's happening within this trading environment specifically. So it's not going to be as fast and rapid as maybe a higher volume exchange, but for this exchange it shows adequately the ecosystem of how many orders are to buy Bitcoin and how many orders are to sell Bitcoin. The other benefit to having a Bitbuy is actually the trading view integrated chart that we have here. So obviously you can do things like maximize, minimize the chart. So if you want to use this on multiple different monitors, have the chart maximized and do your trades on another monitor. You can also include any indicators that we've talked about. So just right clicking on anywhere in the chart, hitting insert indicator, and then just selecting our indicator. We've talked about so many of them on our TA Tuesday. So if we go ahead and select RSI, and then we have our relative strength index. So that's all the same capability that you have with, say, normal trading view. So just make sure to go back into all the TA Tuesday videos if you want to learn more about the indicators, the different indicators that we use in the Pro chart. Obviously, you can activate any chart that you'd like or any indicator that you like that's available within TradingView that's integrated here. Now, also, you can change your interval times between 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 2 hours, 4 hours, and then 1 day. So keep that in mind as well. You also have the opportunity to change your intervals to take a look at other timeframes on the chart. This is more useful depending on whether or not you're trading for shorter timeframes or longer timeframes. Now, currently there are roughly 15 trading pairs. What I like about this is the fact that you don't only have to trade in Canadian dollars, you can also trade in Bitcoin, which is something I really prefer. I like trading things in cryptocurrency and in Bitcoin, using Bitcoin as my native currency, then trading between different tokens. So we have Stellar, we have Litecoin, Ethereum, XRP, Bitcoin Cash, and a couple others. The one thing that I really like about Bitbuy is that they do their due diligence to make sure that these tokens that they're putting on comply with regulations in Canada. That way we make sure that obviously we're trading safely, we're not going to catch a charge for anything, and we know that they're doing their due diligence to bring on tokens that we want to trade with. They have tokens like Aave and a few others, and there's definitely more coming out into 2022. So I'd keep ready for any other token pairs, because most likely we're going to have a lot of other tokens come through as they get approved by Bitbuy to list. So again, low fees, very transparent, shows you exactly where the fees are, has deep liquidity, and a very low spread compared to a lot of other Canadian exchanges. I really appreciate Bitbuy supporting the channel and partnering up. I really like the ecosystem that we're building in Canada, and having players like Bitbuy really solidifies cryptocurrency in our ecosystem. So I value what they're doing for the community and Canadians. Obviously, if you want to get signed up with Bitbuy, you can go ahead and click on the link down in the description below. Get a sign up bonus when you make your first deposit. If you use the link, you'll also support the channel. Hopefully this was informative. I hope that you understand why you should be doing limit orders and the benefits of Bitbuy, especially in the Canadian market space. Obviously, they're one of the biggest players in Canada. They've been around for quite a while compared to some of the other exchanges. And by now, I think everyone can agree that they're going to stand the test of time and be one of the big names. So really looking forward to working with them further, and looking forward to seeing additional token pairs and what more tokens they can bring to the market space. That's it for me. If you did like this video, go on and give me a like and subscribe to the channel for more crypto news and content. And of course, happy hodling.